What's up YouTube, it's Jordan Stupar here. Guys, I appreciate you coming to my channel. If you're interested in sales, business, technology, making more money, entrepreneurship, then this is the channel for you because that's all that I talk about. And so hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And of course, make sure to comment throughout this video because I want to hear your thoughts, your feedback, opinions, perspectives, and whatever it is that you have to say. Engagement is my favorite thing. Now, today I've got something that is a little bit taboo for me because I cuss a lot, I swear a lot. I'm a normal human being, and on top of it, I'm a business owner and a salesperson. So of course, life can be a little bit stressful. Sometimes I get a little bit annoyed, sometimes I get frustrated, and sometimes I use quite a few of those words that my mom told me never to use, or else I'd have to get my mouth cleaned out with soap. Today, I want to talk to you guys about whether or not cussing increases or decreases your chances of closing a deal. I think before I start digging into some statistics that you're gonna find interesting regarding cursing in sales, I do wanna note that it is not my intention to offend anybody if you are offended by language. Obviously, this video is to cover that topic, and I might curse a couple times just to kind of keep you on your toes. For my entire professional career, I have honestly always wondered the impact that cursing or cussing actually has as a professional in a sales setting, and whether or not if I curse on the phone or curse in front of a customer while I'm doing a deal, if it's gonna hurt me or help me. Pretty recently, I was just clicking around on LinkedIn and I saw an article that totally caught my attention, and it said, "The startling truth, cursing in sales." And so obviously I clicked on it and then I read the article, and then I was kind of not surprised and a little bit surprised at the studies, the statistics, and the things that this article had to say regarding the topics of cursing as a salesperson. Apparently, a company called Gong actually did a big study on a bunch of different sales calls, thousands of sales calls, and they just basically were looking at cursing. They were trying to figure out what happens if just the prospect curses. What happens if just the salesperson curses? What happens if both parties end up cursing? And what type of impact does it really have on sales? And so today I'm gonna share with you some of those things, and I'm gonna give you some of my opinions, thoughts, and perspectives regarding cursing in sales. Gong ended up reporting that 20% of salespeople curse on sales calls. However, only 5% of salespeople initiate or are the first one to actually curse on the phone, which leads me to believe that most salespeople are pretty respectful of the people that are on the other line and careful not to offend the prospect on the phone call by saying foul language during the sales call. However, the next portion of the study actually surprised me. The statistics that I found most interesting in this article, again according to Gong, were that if the prospect is the only party that curses on the sales call, closing rates will go up by 2%, which is a win for salespeople. The thing that I found even more interesting was that if the salesperson is the only person or party on the sales call that curses, closing rates go up by 6%. And what I found absolutely not surprising was that if the prospect and the salesperson both curse on the sales call, closing rates go up by 8%. The reason I'm not really surprised that closing rates go up the highest when both parties actually engage in this foul language is because mirroring is a very important part of sales and is a skill that you should certainly develop. There are a couple of points that I want to make as it relates to this conversation of colorful language, and it all starts with my own honesty. When I'm not on a sales call, when I'm not producing content that the masses can go out and see, I use pretty colorful language. It's a little bit closer to Gary Vaynerchuk. And when I'm on a sales call, when I'm making a video or I'm putting content out there, I want to be perceived as a professional. And I will be honest, I get a little intimidated at the thought that somebody might be offended if I drop an F-bomb on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. And so I don't. Although I am a little bit nervous using colorful language online or on a sales call and it might offend somebody, I will say that when the prospect is the first one to use some colorful language, I'd no doubt feel a little bit more comfortable cursing myself and being a little bit more authentic and sharing a little bit more of my actual personality. And so, of course, closing rates are going to go up. One of the things that I'd like all of you to comment on below is whether or not you feel comfortable cursing, whether you feel like you're a little bit nervous to show who you really are if you use colorful language, and whether or not you think that it's actually impacting your sales. And I want to know if you actually feel less authentic and less like your real self if you're holding back the way that you actually do speak. At the end of the day, I basically understand that there are two different groups of people out there. There's a group of people out there that don't give two shits if I curse, if I swear, or use foul language. I also am aware that there's a group of people out there that would judge me or be offended at such horrible language. And at the end of the day, my job as a brand, as a personality, as a business owner is to cater to both parties the best that I possibly can. As I've always kind of argued with myself or felt inauthentic for censoring myself or felt like I could be offending people and be a little bit scared if I do use colorful language, it's my job again to cater to most people that I possibly can. Yes, I understand that regardless of language, there's gonna be people that don't like who I am. I know that there's gonna be people that do like who I am. And from there, I just wanna let you know that whether or not I curse online or censor myself or whatever, doesn't make me less authentic or like hide my personality. However many ways you wanna break apart this conversation into authenticity or respect or not offending people or being inauthentic, the question still remains, should you cuss on a sales call? It's my personal opinion that you should walk into every sales call with the utmost respect for your prospect. There is a reasonable chance that they might get offended or be turned off if you use colorful language. So I would basically suggest that you allow them to initiate the foul language and that you can join the party later on if it's something that you support and is part of your personality. I don't think that censoring yourself means that you're being inauthentic. I think that it means that you're being respectful for potential people that could be offended at the way that you actually speak.